Let's go on to the second type of reactions of phenols, that they are reactions of the benzene ring. When we were doing the resonating structures of phenol, we saw that the phenol that is number one, it is an activating group. Activating group means that it is going to activate the benzene ring. Okay? And secondly, it is orthoparadirecting. Orthoparadirecting means that whichever attacking reagent is going to attack, that is going to attack at the ortho and the para position. And thirdly, the reactions of the benzene ring, they are electrophilic substitution reactions, right? They are going to be electrophilic substitution reactions. You know what an electrophile is. It is positively charged species or electron-loving species. So over here, when you are looking at the resonating structure, the negative charge that is at the ortho and the para position, right? Now, if the negative charge is at the ortho and the para position and the electrophile that is positively charged, it is but obvious that the electrophile will come and attack at the ortho and the para positions. To understand it better, let's go on to the resonating structures of alcohol or phenol. Right? So this is going to be shifted here, similar as we had drawn for phenoxide in our previous lecture. Right? So now when you are looking at the second, third and fourth structure, what you can see is that the negative charge that is concentrated at the ortho and the para position. Now if it is concentrated at the ortho and the para position, it means that the incoming electrophile will only attack at these positions. Because the OH group, that is an activating group, so it is going to activate all these three positions. So we will see that in many cases there are going to be tri-substituted products which are going to be formed, and mono-substituted products may be formed by changing the reagents, right? So depending upon that, let's go on to the first reaction over here, which is bromination reaction. Bromination reaction is the attack of bromine. We will see that the reaction that proceeds in two different manners. If we are taking OH and we are reacting this with bromine water or aqueous bromine, we are going to get a tri-substituted product. So we have OH over here, Br and Br, right? But if we are reacting phenol with bromine in presence of carbon disulfide, we are going to get a mono-substituted product. That is, we will get a mixture of para-bromo, phenol and ortho-bromo-phenol, right? Where the para-bromo-phenol, that is going to be the major product. Now why the difference? Why when we are reacting it with bromine over here, it is going to give us a tri-substituted product, and if we are doing it in CS2, it is giving us a mono-substituted product. It so happens that when we are doing the reaction in presence of water, the phenol that is going to get ionized to give us phenoxide ion. Okay? In aqueous solution or in presence of water, phenol gets ionized to give us phenoxide ion. this phenoxide ion is highly activating. Because it is highly activating, it will simultaneously activate both the ortho and the para positions, right? So that is the reason why we are getting a tri-substituted product. In case of carbon disulfide is an organic solvent. Over here, the ionization of the phenol that is going to take place to a very lesser extent. As a result of which, the activating nature of the phenoxide ion that reduces, and we are going to get over here a mono-substituted product, right? So this is an important question which you can get with respect to your boards. That why in aqueous solution we are getting 2,4,6 and why in CS2 we are getting a mono-substituted product, right? The second reaction which we are going to do over here, that is the nitration reaction. Nitration means introduction of a nitro group. Over here also we will see that if we are taking dilute HNO3, we will get the reaction takes place in presence of concentrated H2SO4. We are going to get over here mono-substituted product and a mixture of orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol. Now both of these, they are going to have a great difference in their boiling points, because in case of ortho there is going to be intramolecular hydrogen bonding, and in case of para there is intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So para isomer is going to have a higher boiling point, okay? And ortho will have a lesser boiling point. So as a result of which, when we need to separate both of these, they can be separated by steam distillation. They can be easily separated by steam distillation. Now if you are doing the same reaction in presence of concentrated HNO3, in presence of concentrated H2SO4, we are going to get a tri-substituted product. Trinitrophenol, and it is more commonly known as picric acid. It is more commonly known as picric acid. 2,4,6-trinitrophenol or picric acid. Is it clear? So this is nitration reaction. Then the next reaction which we are going to do over here is the sulfonation reaction. The third reaction which we have sulfonation. Sulfonation is the introduction of a sulfonic group. Okay, so over here we can do the reaction under two different conditions. This is phenol. We are reacting it with H2SO4 at 288 to 293 Kelvin. Okay, so when the temperature is low, we are going to get a ortho product. This is ortho-hydroxybenzene sulfonic acid. 2-hydroxybenzene sulfonic acid. Okay? And if we increase the temperature a little, H2SO4, we are increasing the temperature to 373 Kelvin. Now over here, this is going to give us 4-hydroxybenzene sulfonic acid or a para product. Okay, so at low temperature we are getting ortho product, and at high temperature we are getting para product. Then we come to the last reaction over here, that is Friedel-Crafts alkylation reaction. In this reaction, we are going to introduce an alkyl group. So the reaction is going to be with methyl chloride, and the reaction takes place in presence of anhydrous AlCl3 to give us orthocresol This is orthocresol plus paracresol. So these are the reactions of the benzene ring. Then there are 2-3 reactions of phenols which come under the category of special reactions. These reactions, because they are name reactions, they are going to be very important from your examination point of view. So let's just discuss special reactions of phenols. Special reactions of phenols. The first reaction which we are going to do over here, that is Kolb's reaction. This reaction will give us salicylic acid. Now the reaction that is going to proceed by taking sodium phenoxide, which is reacted with carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide over here will behave as an electrophile, okay, and at 400 Kelvin at a pressure of 4 to 7 atmosphere. So this is going to give us phenyl sodium carbonate. This is phenyl sodium carbonate. Then there is a rearrangement which is going to take place over here to give us sodium salicylate. Rearrangement will take place to give us sodium salicylate, which can be hydrolyzed to give us salicylic acid. It is going to give us salicylic acid, right? Now over here it is seen that there is, over here this is an ortho product which is formed. Within there is a slight amount of para product also formed. Now we are taking the temperature as 400 Kelvin over here. If the temperature goes above 410 Kelvin, then we will get predominantly the para product. Okay? So if you have to remember over here, if in your choices the temperature is written 400, then you are going to get ortho product. But if the temperature is above 410 Kelvin, then your product, the main product, that is going to be what? It is going to be the para product above 410 Kelvin. Okay, now this salicylic acid which is formed, this is going to be a starting material for many other important compounds which are generally manufactured from salicylic acid. One which we had already done is aspirin. Okay, that was also prepared by the acetylation of salicylic acid. The second one which we are going to do over here is Salol. Salol is used as an antiseptic in Savolons. Savolol पढ़ा ना आपको, तो उसपे disinfectant and antiseptic की तरह हम इसको use करते हैं. Phenyl salicylate. Phenyl salicylate. So over here we have this is salicylic acid plus C6H5OH. The reaction takes place in presence of phosphorus oxychloride and this will give us phenyl salicylate. This is Salol. Okay, and then we can also get over here methyl salicylate. Methyl salicylate, we have studied that it is one of the component which is present in oil of wintergreen. Okay, so over here we are just merely going to react. Alkylation we are going to do over here. In presence of pyridine to give us methyl salicylate. COOCH3. This is methyl salicylate. Okay? Then the second reaction which we are going to do, that is Reimer-Tiemann reaction. The second reaction which we will do, this is again an important reaction. Reimer-Tiemann reaction. Now over here we are going to reflux phenol with chloroform. Chloroform is CHCl3. The reaction will take place in presence of NaOH at 340 Kelvin, where NaCl and water, that is going to be the byproducts. Okay, and we're getting over here right, और यहाँ पे then we are going to further react this with 2 molecules of NaOH such that both the chlorines over here, they are substituted by the hydroxy group. So we have right. Now this product which is formed over here, this is an unstable compound which is going to readily lose a water molecule to give us sodium salicylate. Sodium salicylate, sodium salicyldehyde. Right? Now this is going to further react with dilute HCl, when NaCl is going to be liberated, and we will get salicyldehyde. So this is the Reimer-Tiemann reaction, an important reaction from your examination point of view. Okay? Then the third reaction which we are going to do, that is the coupling reaction. Coupling reaction. This reaction is used for the formation of colored dyes which are known as azo dyes. Right? So over here we are going to react phenol with benzene diazonium chloride, when we will get an orange colored dye over here, para-hydroxy azobenzene. Right? This is known as para-hydroxy azobenzene. So this para-hydroxy azobenzene which is formed over here, This is an orange colored dye. So this reaction is generally used for the preparation of colored dyes. Then the next reaction is hydrogenation reaction. Fourth reaction is hydrogenation reaction. Hydrogenation reaction, we are going to do catalytic hydrogenation over here, which means that we will use a catalyst to add up hydrogen to the phenol. So plus 3H2, this is going to give us cyclohexanol. The reaction takes place in presence of nickel at a temperature of 430 Kelvin. Right? Then the fifth reaction we are going to do is the oxidation reaction. Oxidation reaction. Oxidation reaction is done in presence of chromium trioxide. When we get over here para-benzoquinone, it's a double, you can say double ketone which we are going to get. This is known as para-benzoquinone. Okay, now if you're doing the same oxidation in presence of potassium thiosulfate, it is known as ELBS. Persulfate oxidation. Okay, over here we are taking phenol in presence of alkaline K2S2O8. When we are going to get a dihydroxy product over here, ortho dihydroxybenzene, which is known as catechol, and para product, which is known as resorcinol. Sorry, not resorcinol, quinol. Resorcinol is the beta. This is quinol. Okay, so these are a few of the reactions which you need to know over here.